I'm joined now by the Prime Minister, Theresa May. Prime Minister, welcome. The Chequers plan, as it's currently constituted, is dead, isn't it?
No, it isn't. Let me just perhaps explain, Andrew, why we put the Chequers plan forward. We had on the table from the European Union two options, neither of which were acceptable to the UK. On the one hand, it was effectively keeping us in the customs union, in the single market, and that would not have delivered on the vote of the British people. On the other hand, it was offering a free trade agreement, a basic free trade agreement for Great Britain, and carving Northern Ireland out of the rest of away from the rest of the United Kingdom. Neither of those were acceptable to us. So we said no, we will put our plan forward. We will put a plan forward that's ambitious for Britain, that delivers on the Brexit vote. It ensures there's no free movement, we keep control of our borders, control of our money by not sending vast annual sums to the EU every year, control of our laws by no longer having the European Court having jurisdiction in the UK. But in doing that, it deals with the issue of no hard border between Northern Ireland and Ireland, protects jobs and protects our union.
Well, there is a very comprehensive explanation of Chequers. You say it is not dead, it's resting. But if it's only resting, can I ask, are you prepared in any substantive way to alter your plan to get an agreement?
What I've said to the European Union is very clear. They've said they have some concerns with the proposals we've put together. Let's hear what those detailed concerns are. If they've got counter-proposals, let's hear what those counter-proposals are. But what I'm clear is that what we've put forward is in the national interest, and we did it because what the European Union was offering us was unacceptable.
And you're in a listening mood. Are you then in a moving mood as well?
Let's hear what the European Union's concerns are with the Chequers plan. At the heart of the Chequers plan is a free trade deal, a free trade area, and frictionless trade. I think it is frictionless trade that ensures we can maintain our guarantee to the people of Northern Ireland of no hard border between Northern Ireland and Ireland. And Chequers at the moment is the only plan on the table that delivers on the Brexit vote in the way I've set out, and also delivers for the people of Northern Ireland.
So they said at Salzburg fairly clearly that what they wanted was more and stronger language on the common rule book about regulations and so on going forward. Having listened, are you prepared in any sense to compromise?
What I'm saying to them is if you've got concerns, let's hear what the detail of those concerns is.
I come back. Are you prepared to compromise that?
Let's hear what the detail of those concerns is. If they've got counter-proposals, let's hear what those counter-proposals are. They've said there's much about the Chequers plan that they can accept and that they want to talk through with us. So where they have problems, let's actually hear them. And then, it's only then, Andrew, that you can actually identify what the issue really is, where there are issues that lie behind this.
But also, it's pretty pointless if they're going to come forward with their ideas, if you're then going to completely ignore them. So I ask again, are you prepared to compromise once they have come forward with some ideas?
Well,
I'm not saying I want the details of the compromise. I just want to know what your mood is.
Well, what my mood is to listen to what the European Union have to say about their concerns and then to sit down and talk them through with them. Now, they've made some statements about their concerns, which we actually think we have counter-arguments for. We think that we are putting forward a proposal that will maintain the integrity of the single market from their point of view. What we're talking about is a different arrangement. It's an ambitious arrangement, and the reason the European Union has been saying that they have concerns with it is precisely because this is an ambitious arrangement for the United Kingdom for the future. Because I think we should be ambitious for Britain. I don't think we should just take an existing off-the-shelf model. I think we should say, we're the UK, we're the fifth biggest economy in the world, let's work out a really good trade deal between us.
But if you move an inch, or maybe I should say a millimetre, towards them, you bust your party wide open. Boris Johnson says this morning that the Chequers plan, as it is deranged.
And as I've put forward, I've just explained to you why I believe that the plan we've put forward is a plan that is in the national interest. What do I want to do as Prime Minister and as a government? First of all, I want to ensure we deliver on the Brexit vote. And that means ensuring there's no free movement, that we can have control of our borders.
This is a plan that he thinks is deranged. I mean, just completely impossible to deliver and wrong in principle.
No, this is a plan.
Vassalage.
This is a plan which ensures that we deliver on the vote of the British people. That's the first thing we need to do. People voted for an end to free movement.
He doesn't even think you believe in it. He said today, unlike the Prime Minister, I campaigned for Brexit. Unlike the Prime Minister, I fought for this. I believe in it. He thinks, in the end, you don't really believe in a proper Brexit.
I do believe in Brexit, but crucially, I believe in delivering Brexit in a way that respects the vote and delivers on the vote of the British people, while also protecting our union, protecting jobs, and ensuring that we make a success of Brexit for the future. That's why I'm being ambitious for this country. That's why I want us to get a really good free trade deal with the European Union, which is what lies at the heart of the Chequers plan.
And you took the Chequers plan to Salzburg, and it was rejected unanimously by the other 27. President Macron said afterwards, well, he said, the proposals in their current state are not acceptable. The Chequers plan cannot be take it or leave it. Now, if you take exactly the same plan back to exactly the same people next month and get exactly the same result, you can't know that we're not heading for no deal, can you?
Well, first of all, what leaders across the European Union have been saying, I met a number of them when I was in New York last week, is that they do want a deal. They do want us to be able to come to an agreement, and as I do, and that's what I'm working for. That's what government is working for.
But you're going to have to move if you're going to get that agreement.
A good deal for the United Kingdom. But what I've also said is...
But you're going to have to shift to get that agreement.
Andrew, you seem to be of the view that if the European Union says, oh, we have a problem here, then we should somehow make some adjustment without knowing what that problem is.
No, both sides have to move. Both sides have to move, but that includes you.
The point is very simple. Until we know what their problem is, that's what we need. We need to know what their concerns are. This is challenging for the European Union. I accept that, because it is an ambitious deal. It's a deal like no other. It's a deal that they haven't entered into with anybody else.
It's a deal they think destroys the single market.
And we believe it does not destroy the single market, and we need to have that conversation with them.
Now, if we don't get the deal we want, your plan B at the moment is no deal at all. Can I ask, doesn't the British people deserve a better, proper plan B?
Well, I am working to get a good deal for the United Kingdom. I'm working to ensure that we get the best deal for the United Kingdom.
But you can't be sure, can you?
I'm working to get...
Sure.
Well, we don't know what the outcome of the negotiations is going to be. That's why we are making preparations for no deal, because as a government it's entirely right that we should be able to say to the British people, whatever the outcome of these negotiations, we are putting into place what is needed to ensure we make a success of Brexit. But if we look at what is happening at the moment...
Would no deal make a success of Brexit?
If we will make a success of Brexit, regardless of the outcome of the negotiations. That's the task I've set government. But if you look at what is happening at the moment, we're working for a good deal for the UK with the EU for our future relationship. My message to the Labour Party is that they should stop playing politics with Brexit and start acting in the national interest. My message to my party is let's come together and get the best deal for Britain.
Well, good luck with that, because an awful lot of your own MPs, according to Steve Baker, around 80 MPs on your own party, hate the Chequers proposal, as you know, and they much prefer the free trade deal that you were talking about earlier on. Can you explain in terms what is so awful about the free trade deal?
Well, Chequers is a free trade deal.
I'm talking about the so-called Canada style, as you know very well. Come on, I'm talking about the Canada style free trade deal.
I think this is important, because people often differentiate Chequers from a free trade deal. At the heart of Chequers is a free trade deal. Now, if you look at the issue on the so-called Canada,
surely.
At the heart of Chequers is a free trade deal. If you have a trade agreement every year, you have to agree the rules you're going to trade with them on. You've asked about Canada. You've asked about Canada.
Yeah.
First of all, Canada for the UK is not on the table from the EU. What's on the table is a basic free trade agreement for Great Britain, with Northern Ireland remaining in the customs union, remaining in the single market,
which they say
and
would
effectively
be generous and no tariffs and very easy, frictionless trade and all of that. They make it sound quite good.
You wanted me to explain Canada.
Yeah.
Perhaps I can complete my explanation.
Sure.
What they have on the table is a basic free trade agreement for Great Britain, Northern Ireland remaining in most of the single market and the customs union, effectively creating a customs border between Northern Ireland and the United Kingdom, effectively carving the United Kingdom into two customs territories, carving Northern Ireland away from the rest of the UK. That is unacceptable to us. But if you look at Canada as well, as a free trade agreement, what Canada does is it would mean that there would be checks, regulatory checks, customs checks at borders. The Northern Ireland border, the Dover-Calais border.
All right, so you don't like the Irish border question. If we leave on no deal, WTO rules, does there have to be a hard border in Ireland?
We are very clear. First of all, you said I don't know.
Does there have to be a hard border?
Can I just? But your phrase you used was that I didn't like the Irish border. This is about the people of Northern Ireland who are part of the United Kingdom. It's about standing up for the whole of the United Kingdom. And we have been very clear from our point of view that we do not want to see a hard border between Northern Ireland and Ireland.
But if we leave on so-called no deal, WTO rules, that does mean an Irish border, doesn't it? We've checked with the WTO, it does mean a border in Ireland. There are certain WTO rules. What we are committed to making sure that we can provide that guarantee to the people of Northern Ireland. Now, nobody wants a good deal with the EU better than I do. Yeah.
And that's why I'm working hard for that good deal and ensuring that we can deliver for every part of the United Kingdom.
But if we leave without a deal, you cannot guarantee that there isn't a hard border in Ireland, can you?
We are working to make sure that we leave with a good deal.
Yeah,
that's what my focus is on.
But if we leave without a deal, there will be a border in Ireland, won't there?
If we leave with, as we should have them, if we get to the point of no deal, we're making the preparations because we don't know what's going to come out of the negotiations. If we leave with no deal, we, as a United Kingdom government, are still committed to doing everything we can to ensure there is no hard border between Northern Ireland and Ireland.
So you'll try, but you'll inevitably fail because on WTO rules there has to be a border, and we should level with people and explain that.
As I say, as a United Kingdom government, we will remain committed to doing everything we can to ensure no hard border between Northern Ireland and Ireland. There is only one plan on the table at the moment that provides for that frictionless trade across the border between Northern Ireland and Ireland, and indeed between the United Kingdom's other borders with the European Union. And that is the plan that the UK government has put forward, and which has become known as the Chequers Plan.
But you are telling people at the moment that if you don't get your way, the answer is going to be no deal. And people are beginning to get very worried about that. And I want to examine exactly why. If, for instance, we did what you don't want us to do, I do understand that, and did the so-called Norway model, stayed inside the EEA, our domestic product would fall by 1.6, nearly 2% over 15 years. That is a really bad drop. If we went for the Canada deal, that kind of free trade deal, it would fall by nearly 5%. Really serious. But look what happens if we go out with no deal. It falls by 8%, nearly 8%, 7.7%. That is pretty catastrophic. That goes alongside all those people actually running businesses, Jaguar Land Rover, Toyota. Tens of thousands of really high-skilled British jobs would go down the Swanee, according to the people running the businesses concerned. And then there's the police talking about disruption at the border and all the other problems and the aircraft and the lack of pet passports and you name it. This looks a pretty ropey answer. And yet this seems to be your plan B. And so I say again, don't the British people deserve a better plan B?
I think what you've just been arguing for is the sort of plan that the United Kingdom government's put forward in the Chequers Plan, which actually delivers on the frictionless trade, which businesses such as those you've cited have raised as one of their issues. So it protects jobs, protects livelihoods here in the United Kingdom. It also delivers on the issue of the border.
You don't have to go for the worst option, do you?
No. You
don't have to go for WTO rules.
What we're doing at the moment, Andrew, is we're in the final straits of this negotiation. Now, I always said it was going to be tough, and it was always going to get toughest towards the end of the negotiation. But we're continuing to focus on getting a good deal for the UK. Now, that's about understanding where the EU has concerns with the proposals we've put before them. It's about understanding what their counter-proposals might be. But what drives me, what drives the government, is the national interest. That's why I'm saying to everybody in politics today, let's focus on the national interest. Okay. Let's focus on ensuring that we're all working to get the really good deal that this country deserves.